ladies and gentlemen, to SmackDown Live. Red hot crowd here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we are going to kick it off with singles action. Our reigning, defending World Heavyweight Champion here on SmackDown is about to go one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler, the show-off who we saw run real deep. Got to the final of the SmackDown Live side of the bracket to the King of the Ring. He was stopped by the eventual winner of the King of the Ring, Samoa Joe. Electric atmosphere in the arena here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Your main event is Chris Jericho versus Cesaro. With what we don't know on the line, Edge has said that there is an extremely massive reward for the winner of tonight's main event. We find out what that is, hopefully, later on tonight. Of course, the tag team division rolls on to SmackDown Live on the road to SummerSlam here tonight as well, with the American Alpha facing yet another mystery opponent. But right now you can hear Salt Lake City come unglued for the World Heavyweight Champion. We saw him cash it in sensationally 2 weeks ago. And now we get to see the man, Finn Balor, in action. Red hot way to kick off the show here, ladies and gentlemen. You see it. This place on their feet. Big gold around the big time waist of one of the best wrestlers walking the face of the planet. The Irishman, Finn Balor. And we saw last week Samoa Joe made his intentions very clear. He said, Finn, I am the #1 contender. We saw it on Universally Speaking. After we went off the air, the war of words that took place between Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, and we can say right now, ladies and gentlemen, as it was announced on Universally Speaking, it is official. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for that title around Finn Balor's waist. That is, of course, Samoa Joe's reward for winning the King of the Ring. He gets a world title shot on his respective brand, which is, of course, the blue brand. And what an atmosphere around this stadium every time the ever-present Finn Balor enters one. The electricity is in the air, and speaking of electricity, ladies and gentlemen, The Rock is in the house, as is Roman Reigns. We saw the return of Jimmy Uso. He came back, of course, is one half of the Roman Empire, the now fractured Roman Empire after the antics in the lead up to King of the Ring. There'll be more on that later on, no doubt. But right now, we have the opening contest, which just happens to be Finn Balor's first on the main roster. They link up in the middle of the ring. Dolph Ziggler, absolutely no slouch. As I said, made the final of the King of the Ring, was stopped in his tracks by the eventual winner, Samoa Joe. So it's somewhat of a full circle moment as we kick off the show here tonight. Finn Balor has that headlock tightly cinched in, but Dolph Ziggler rolls him off, and that's the power that Ziggler possesses. You can see Ziggler has a slight, very, very slight size advantage. Both men very easily matched up, evenly matched up, I should say. Facebuster there to Finn Balor, and just the disrespect which we've come to know and dislike about Dolph Ziggler. There's no question about that. As he just lays the boots in to the world champion. Still takes some getting used to for a lot of people to see Finn Balor in this position, and that doesn't take a lot to get used to for fans who have seen Finn Balor in action before. Of course, we saw him in NXT defeat Roderick Strong, and look at Finn Balor here. Captures the leg here, up and over, and he just drops Dolph Ziggler onto his head. And that is not where you want to be if you're Dolph Ziggler, as Finn Balor gets on top in this one. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Nia Jax takes on one of the members of Team Bella, or Team Divas Revolution, whatever you want to call it. She takes on Brie Bella here tonight, ahead of that blockbuster triple threat main event to determine who will go on to face Nikki Bella for that wretched Divas title to hopefully put an end to all of this craziness that we've seen over the last couple of months and hopefully bring back that beautiful white and red belt of the women's division as Dolph Ziggler drops that elbow right into the heart of Finn Balor, who is being sternly tested here. This is maybe, if you're trying to build some momentum towards SummerSlam, not the ideal match, but it could be a good hit out as he prepares to face Samoa Joe at SummerSlam, which is shaping up to be an absolutely incredible card here as Dolph Ziggler backs up and then up and over, snapping the neck back of Finn Balor, and Dolph Ziggler has really taken control of this match, and therefore taking control of the world champion as Ziggler picks him up for a back suplex, and there's the platinum nip up. Shades of Shawn Michaels. He's very unashamed in that, Dolph Ziggler, in saying that he idolizes Shawn Michaels. He wants to emulate Shawn Michaels, and he does do that. There's no question. Look at that shot there, straight to the heart, and now Ziggler is just taunting the world champion, and Ziggler's showing his wares here. We know that he is right up there in terms of the caliber of superstar that could be a world champion. Here with a sit-out powerbomb, though, from Finn Balor, gets him right back in this match here in Salt Lake City. Now Balor has to pick up Ziggler, but yet another counter here from Ziggler, and then a shoulder block takes Balor right off his feet, and Ziggler has just been very clinical in his approach here, and we've seen this showmanship from Dolph Ziggler before. The crowd counting along with him. All these elbows will take their toll. 7, 8, 9, and Dolph Ziggler looking for the 10th, and in typical show-off fashion delivers it. 10 elbows in a row into the cover. 1, 2, and doesn't get him. Finn Balor kicks out, frustration already building on the face of Ziggler. Huge opportunity this for Dolph Ziggler. Imagine the ramifications if he could defeat Finn Balor, and he just might here. Shot to Finn Balor, zigzag, delivered straight to the back of Finn Balor. The champion's in trouble. 1, gotta have him. 2, no, Finn Balor kicks out, and it's been all Ziggler in this one. You can't argue that fact. Dolph Ziggler taking it right to Finn Balor, and now Dolph Ziggler is also taking it to the high red district, up and down, and there's the 11th elbow, this time right from the top rope, and Dolph Ziggler is in control of Balor. Oh, but he's not. Oh, Balor fights out somehow. Balor finds a European uppercut, and now Balor looking for it again, looking for a back suplex to try and get in, but again Dolph Ziggler has the answer. Dolph Ziggler has the answer, this time the cover, hand over the mouth, cutting off the oxygen too. Just kicks out again. Another long 2 count, and Balor really fighting from underneath, and more disrespect from Dolph Ziggler here. This crowd is somewhat stunned. They expected something different from Dolph Ziggler, and from Finn Balor for that matter. The last time we saw Dolph Ziggler is in an incredibly hard-hitting contest with Samoa Joe. And now Ziggler taking it all the way to Finn Balor, but there's a wonderful reversal. And now the champion showing some fight, showing that he might just have something left in the tank. Wrist clutch suplex perfectly executed by the Irishman. And now Balor gonna go to the outside. What's he thinking here? Balor, shades of Eddie Guerrero. Balor gets him to his feet, takes a headlock. Finn Balor now starting to build momentum. You can feel the groundswell of momentum from Finn Balor here. Down into the cover, somewhat desperate in my opinion. Just a 1 count. That's what I thought. You're going to need to do more here, Finn. This is the big time. The bright lights of SmackDown Live. And now Dolph Ziggler with another answer to another question. But this time Finn takes him, throws him to the apron. And now Balor going to bring him back in the hard way, hooks him up. Stumbles back for a suplex from the outside and in. Balor gets him to his feet here. It's been a flurry of offense from Finn Balor. Balor sends him into the corner. Gonna turn him around. We know what this means. Balor's gonna set him up. Crowd right behind him in Salt Lake City. Finn Balor, full head of steam with the drop kick. Balor now gonna look to end it. gonna look to put a full stop on this match. His first as champion, his first on the main roster. Coup de grace, delivered expertly, 1, 2, and gets him. And Finn Balor defeats Dolph Ziggler in his SmackDown Live debut with the use of a picture-perfect coup de grace delivered directly to the heart of Dolph Ziggler. And nobody gets up from that. Finn Balor wins his SmackDown Live debut and his main roster debut in impressive fashion. Wait a minute, look out! Samoa Joe! Samoa Joe! Oh my God, from behind! Samoa Joe from behind, and he takes a good look at his reflection in that gold, and now he's gonna show Finn his. He's gonna show Finn his own reflection in that title. Samoa Joe says this is just a taste. And Samoa Joe takes out Finn Balor, and here comes Dolph Ziggler to try and pick up the bones and pick up the pieces of Finn Balor, and this is just what this guy's all about. And now what the hell is Ziggler doing? Ziggler picks up Finn Balor's World Heavyweight Championship, and is Finn Balor gonna do something? No, he's not! Dolph Ziggler gonna get the hell out of Dodge here, because it's the one and only most electrifying man in sports and entertainment, the most electrifying man in the world. It's The Rock coming down to save Finn, much like Finn saved him at the conclusion of the last episode. And The Rock, what a moment this is. The Rock staring off with Finn Balor, holding Finn Balor's championship, and Salt Lake City has come unglued and they're all on their feet. And The Rock hands it back to Finn Balor. But maybe one day. What a moment. There's tension in the air everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. And Finn Balor wins his debut, and it looks like The Rock is demanding a microphone here. What a start. What's The Rock got to say? No doubt he's got some things on his mind. The Rock says no time for catchphrases. Furious. That's true. You can't argue with that. And that is true also. Finn Balor certainly wasn't blamed by Roman Reigns for taking that title. The Rock's fired up here tonight. And now he's been cut off by the former World Heavyweight Champion. And The Rock doesn't seem best pleased at this interruption from arguably the most hated man in the professional wrestling industry. It's Roman Reigns, as he saunters to the ring in typical fashion. Explosive start to SmackDown Live, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen Samoa Joe blindside Finn Balor, and now a potential showdown between The Rock and Roman Reigns. And The Rock's calling him on. Roman Reigns says he's tired of listening to the garbage, and The Rock says, well, you don't have to listen. Get in the ring, Roman. There's no anchor tied to your ass. And oh, look out, look out, look out, look out. From behind, of course. Always with a plan, and The Rock knows that he's surrounded now. And The Rock could be in some real trouble here. The Roman Empire surrounding him. And this does not look good for The Rock. He stares off, and look out! Straight after Roman! Straight after Roman, but look out, there's Jey Uso! Jey Uso's back! Jey Uso's back. Taking it to Jimmy. The Rock and Roman going toe-to-toe on the other side. And this is completely exploded into chaos here in Salt Lake City. And the two brothers are throwing hands, and The Rock's taking it to Roman Reigns. It's completely out of control. Oh my God, what a clothesline. A diving clothesline from Roman Reigns. Floors The Rock. And these two brothers have been divided by Roman Reigns. That's how manipulative that son of a bitch is. He's divided. Blood. And the Usos are going toe-to-toe, and The Rock's back up. He wants more of Roman. Go on, Roman. Go and get your some. He's right there. And now they're both, look at this. And both of them don't want any more of the fire. And go get it. He's right there as well. He's right there as well. Go and get you some. You talk all this crap, go and get it. Yeah, I thought so. This is exactly what they're made of. Is anyone really surprised at any of this? For God's sake, and here we go. There's Jack Swagger backstage. Non-stop here tonight. Well, Jack Swagger, due to the impressive performances as of late, has been injected. Oh, wait a minute, hang on a minute. They've got chaos again in the ring here. These four women have just come running down to the ring, and this match is underway. It's completely non-stop here on SmackDown Live. There's a chop. This fight's just completely broken out. Look out, over the top goes Alicia Fox. And this is a scheduled match. It has begun. It's no disqualification, and Becky Lynch has a goddamn chair. Oh, God. Chop there from Alicia Fox. Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss in the ring. And Becky Lynch with a suplex to Alicia Fox on the outside. Complete and utter chaos to kick us off. Completely breathless here. Look out. Becky went to grab another chair, but Alicia Fox picked her up and down face first onto that same chair that she grabbed. Onto the same chair that she grabbed, and Eva Marie is taking it to Alexa Bliss in the ring, while Alicia Fox and Becky Lynch go to town on each other on the outside. And this has just descended into complete chaos. Is there anything that we have control of here tonight in Salt Lake? You can see this. God, post goes Becky Lynch. And this is just spewed over, ladies and gentlemen. This rivalry, this month-long rivalry coming to an end here. These four women absolutely tearing each other apart, and what a shot! What a straight shot from Becky Lynch, and she is on fire, running all over the ring, and then a DDT to Alicia Fox. DDT to Alicia Fox. But Eva Marie did manage to grab Becky Lynch, but now look at Alicia Fox, just dangles her over the barricade, and a shot to the face. A straight shot to the face, and a massive clothesline, and Becky Lynch is cleaning house here. And now Becky Lynch looks over, grabs that chair, turns around, and look out. Oh! Alicia Fox managed to dodge that chair shot, but Becky Lynch managed to dodge that German suplex attempt, and now Becky goes for one of her own. But Alicia Fox again, look out, drops her face. God almighty. Complete and utter chaos broken out here at ringside. Alicia Fox is just throwing hands everywhere. And this is completely out of control, ladies and gentlemen. Finn Balor makes his debut. Samoa Joe blindsides him. The Rock comes out, talks trash, then a fight breaks out. That clears out, and then another fight breaks out. Look out, Becky Lynch with Alicia Fox's head right off the post, as Alexa Bliss now tries to take it back in the ring and maybe could get some sort of civilized action here. But of course it is no disqualification, so there's no need to tag out. Becky Lynch is just wielding a chair, and it looks as though Alicia Fox doesn't want any of it. And Becky Lynch hammers, absolutely hammers Eva Marie. But what the hell is Alicia Fox doing on the outside of the ring? Look out from behind. takes out Eva Marie and Alicia Fox. I think this perfectly sums up the mentality of the Bellas. When it gets a little bit tough, and look at Becky saying, what are you doing? You're just watching your friend get her ass kicked here in the middle of the ring. And Alicia Fox doesn't seem to care. It's too hot in the kitchen, so she doesn't want a piece of it. And now Becky Lynch, Bexplex. And look out, Alexa Bliss is going to make her get involved here. Going to make her get involved. Cover inside the ring though too. No. Oh, long 2 count. And at least Eva Marie showing some fight for the cause. It may be the wrong cause, but she's showing some fight. Alicia Fox gave up the fight. And Becky Lynch wielding that chair. And this does not look good for Eva Marie. A straight shot with a chair from straight fire Becky Lynch. 1, 2, and got her. No! Eva Marie! Oh my God! Twisted Bliss! Twisted Bliss! On the member of the Bellas that wanted no part of the fight when it got too hot. And just like that, Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss dominate Team Bella. And I tell you what, the gym just might be up for the Divas Revolution if they've got soldiers who decide to stand down like that. Whoa, and hang on a second. That's Apollo Crews. We have not seen him. Oh, for God's sake. Just ignores Daniel Bryant. And Apollo Crews is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Does that mean that there is a potential deal on the horizon? We've only seen Apollo Crews's, well, his handlers. We've only seen his representatives. But Apollo Crews is in Salt Lake City right here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But who is also in the house tonight is the American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, who, if they can get through tonight, are just 1 win away from potentially, well, not even potentially, they are 1 win away from being in what I think is going to be one of the biggest tag team matches in the history of this company as we look to unify the NXT and World Heavyweight Championships. Of course, after NXT was absorbed by the main roster, the NXT Tag Team Championships lived on. They have now been defended 2 weeks in a row by American Alpha since they won them from Gallows and Anderson at NXT TakeOver Resurgence. And a win here would leave them, and you can see Chad Gable saying one more win after this one. But I wouldn't be overlooking this team, who I don't recognize the music, but this crowd has gone absolutely nuts. Oh my God! You have got to be kidding! The International Express, Sami Zayn and Ryan Lusk. If there's any OG members of this channel, of Murph's YT13, you will remember Sami Zayn and Ryan Lusk joined forces and won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in NXT, and 2 guys that have been down on their luck step into the ring tonight. Look out, Ryan Lusk looking as committed as ever with a big boot. This is surreal. This is still setting in for this crowd. The International Express has been reformed, and Ryan Lusk, who we saw lose to Drew Gulak on Monday Night Raw, looking down on his luck. We're wondering what the next step was, and this must be it. And Sami Zayn is tagged into this match, and look at the continuity here. With a splash, sends him in a clothesline. Almost clothesline Gable out of his boots. Sami Zayn and Ryan Lusk trying to inject themselves into the tag team scene. The International Express on fire here. Zayn, Gable hasn't even gotten out of the blocks. Ryan Lusk to the second root with a double X handle on the arm. Double axe handle to the arm. No wasted motion. European uppercut takes Gable off his feet. Takes Gable off his feet. Shot to the midsection and a DDT. Chad Gable hasn't gotten out of the blocks. Jason Jordan looks stunned. They're completely taken out of their game. Nobody saw this coming, especially not American Alpha. Hooks him up and a double Northern Lights suplex. Have you seen anything like this? Zayn to the apron, back inside. Incredible tag team work. And now Zayn hooks him up and down with a backbreaker. Unbelievable. And maybe now we'll be able to catch our breath. But Zayn, completely breathless stuff here. European uppercut. European uppercut to Gable. Half and half suplex. My God, have you seen a more committed performance? Irish whip from Gable. The only offense he's had. Reversal from Zayn. Reversal from Zayn. And now exploder into the corner. Vintage Sami Zayn. Vintage Sami Zayn. Sends him in. And this does not look good. Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourself in and take a ride on the express lane. Delivered expertly to Gable. They haven't thrown a punch into the cover. You've got to be kidding me. Have they done it? First time I'm asking. The International Express have reunited. Take a ride on the express lane. Have a look at that. Ryan Lusk down on his luck. Sami Zayn down on his luck. They reunite. And the International Express have done the unthinkable here tonight and taken the NXT titles. A full circle moment for those two men, two former NXT champions, Dusty Rhodes Classic winners. Right here tonight, have launched themselves on the highway to SummerSlam. My God. I am completely stunned. Oh, wait a minute. Look out backstage here. That's Cesaro. Cesaro and Chris Jericho. Jericho destroying Cesaro. Look at Cesaro's face here. God. These two were set to go one-on-one, well, at least at the start of the night, and then Edge put Jack Swagger in the main event. And Chris Jericho looks to have just destroyed Cesaro here. Cesaro has a crimson mask and Chris Jericho kicking at the open wound. What the hell is that all about? Cesaro was meant to be in the main event. Well, I don't know what to say, ladies and gentlemen. A heinous attack backstage from Chris Jericho, and he obviously didn't like the odds of the main event becoming a triple threat and took it into his own hands. And I'm being told that Cesaro has been loaded into an ambulance and taken away to the closest hospital here in Salt Lake City. We have to shift gears and do my job, but that does not look good for Cesaro. He had severe head wounds. As we are joined by Brie Bella, who very notably is out here by herself. She's got a one-on-one match with Nia Jax, who of course has a date with Destiny this Monday night on Raw. The triple threat main event for that show. Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks versus Asuka. The winner takes on that lady's twin sister Nikki for that Divas title and the chance to once again reinstate that women's title, which has just been the mission of Nia Jax, who says she doesn't want to be considered a diva. She doesn't want to be considered a woman. She just wants to be considered the champion. And Nia Jax has been on a tear through this entire women's division since we got started here. She came so close to defeating Sasha Banks at Backlash. She then sensationally defeated Nikki Bella and reinstated the women's title, but it was then at Night of Champions we saw Nia Jax get bested. This is serious ramifications on Monday night, but this could be the perfect shoot-up match for Nia Jax. I think she significantly outpoints Brie Bella. And this crowd is booing the hell out of something as these two women look to get going, and I think I do see it coming down the ramp. Of course, you knew this was never, ever going to go the way you think it's going to go. This match is set to get underway, but you had to know the Divas champion, Nikki Bella, was not going to be far away. These two women take their positions and look out. Nia Jax straight in with an STO, takes her straight off her feet, and that's the mismatch I was talking about. But that indeed is why that woman that you can see in the bottom right-hand side of your screen is in the building. She knows that by herself, Brie Bella probably can't get this done against the Adonis that is Nia Jax as she works away on the head here. Nia Jax just skips over her. You can see the athleticism on full display here as Nia Jax looks to get her to her feet. Brie Bella in some big trouble off the second rope. Nia Jax, incredible athleticism for a woman of her stature. And you can see already getting involved here, and you knew it wasn't going to take long. You knew it wasn't going to take long as Brie Bella whips her in and takes her off her feet with a drop kick. And well, what was that? Barely a minute into the match and Nikki Bella already sticking her nose in the business. But that's something that we've come to know and despise about the Bella twins and this group that they like to call the Divas Revolution and making women's wrestling what they claim to be great, but I tend to stand what Nia Jax stands for, and that's, you know, the professional wrestling side of it, and not the pageantry and not cheating to win. And look out, look at this from Nia Jax, just powers her up, just deadlifts her up for a deadlift powerbomb. And Nikki Bella, this could be your fate. If Nia Jax can make it all the way through next week, that's what you've got to face at SummerSlam. But look out. That was brilliant from Brie Bella, and maybe I have underestimated her a little bit as she rolls over. But you've got to give the assist to Nikki at ringside. Nia Jax had this match well in hand before she even got involved, and this is a good strategy. She's working on the base, and she manages to get her over for a half-Boston crab here, and Nia Jax may have to give it up. She kicks her off. The incredible power of this woman on display, and there's just a straight kick. Brie Bella, she needs to get her off her feet again. Can she get her over? Yes, she does. Snap suplex. I've got to say, I'm eating a few of my words here as Brie Bella takes it right to Nia Jax and then lines her up again. And this is perfect strategy. Perfect strategy. Rolls her over, trying to keep her on the ground here. You've got to stay on her. That's exactly what she's doing. She gets back to her feet, but Brie Bella gets her up and over with a back suplex, and she's proving me wrong, and now Nia Jax has to take a little breather, but she gets straight back in the ring. Wastes no time, and Nia Jax hooks her up. Doesn't look good from here. Oh my God. Did you hear that powerbomb one? At just a 1 count. I gotta say, Brie Bella has impressed me, but Nia Jax has displayed her power and has impressed me as well. Just wrenches on that head, just almost at a right angle. Nia now lifts her up and then just claws that shoulder, and this is the power. This is what happens when the match gets slowed down to someone who's bigger than you's pace. You become really susceptible to just getting worn down, and then she lifts her up to her feet, and this is where it can potentially end. My God. Did you see that? Powered her down, but again on the apron here, Nikki Bella. And this is the distraction, but she can barely get back to her feet. But it's given her a little bit of time for some respite, but good Lord. She just gets body checked into oblivion. And Nia Jax drags the lifeless body of Brie Bella to the middle of the ring and then works the limb. Full weight of Nia Jax right down on the inside of the leg. Can't be fun. Nia Jax, despite the distraction, appears to be focused at the task at hand, and that's the best way to counter someone at ringside who's getting involved. Look out again. She's just wearing her out here. And this is getting to the point where Nia Jax is almost just toying with her and drops the elbow. Drops the elbow right on Brie Bella, and then a shot to the midsection. And Nikki Bella looks concerned, and she's just dropping elbows to the front and back. And this is a very unenviable position, and Nia Jax has had enough here and just tosses her to the outside of the ring. But wait a minute, look out from behind Nikki Bella. From behind Nikki Bella, this match has been called off. And Brie Bella's been disqualified. She was never going to win the match anyway. And laying in the boots, and have a look at this. Have a look at this, and now Brie, but you got to turn around. Oh, but Brie gets back in the ring. Brie gets back in the ring and starts hammering away on Nia Jax here. And now Brie, look at this. Ridiculous showboating when there's two of you. And a bulldog to Nia Jax. Could have almost taken her out of the picture here. And if this carries on, she may not even make it to Monday Night Raw as they look for that patented double DDT, which has become a real staple of the Divas Revolution. And the Bella twins standing tall here, but Nia Jax will not be denied. She gets back to her feet, but look out, doesn't look good. Nikki Bella just sends her to the outside, and she's definitely trying to wear out the competition before Monday Night Raw even rolls around. But here comes part of that competition. It's Asuka. Asuka's on fire, and so is Salt Lake City. But look out from behind again. From behind again, and the numbers game winning out here again. And this time, they're going to set her up and double face plant her into the canvas. And Asuka finding herself in trouble. And are they going to look for yet another one? Yet another double DDT to Asuka. And they are wearing them out one by one here. How on earth do you stop Team Bella? How on earth can we reinstate women's wrestling back to where it is? There's a clothesline from Asuka. To Asuka, rather. And look at this. Just the knee into the face, the disrespect. And Asuka rolls out of the ring, flops on the ground. This is completely ridiculous. But wait a second. It's the boss, Sasha Banks. And wait, maybe she's having second thoughts here. And I think that would be smart, to be honest. Live to fight another day, Sasha. Win that triple threat match on Monday Night Raw. And then go and get you some. Well, next week, Noam Dar faces Braun Strowman in a no disqualification match to kick off the show. Bray Wyatt has a demand for Bo Dallas regarding his seemingly non-existent hardcore championship. And your main event has been made. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, with The Rock and Roman Reigns in either corner. The breaking news from the desk of General Manager Edge, he says that he is issuing a no-contact clause between The Rock and Roman Reigns to preserve his blockbuster main event at SummerSlam. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has combustible written all over it. There's Edge. And Apollo Crews. My God. Apollo Crews says that they're going to go over Edge's head, as well as Shane. So we saw on Monday Night Raw, of course, Apollo's representative said they were going to go over Shane's head. Now Apollo himself, who turned up for talks here tonight, which leads me to believe it might have been close to getting a deal done with SmackDown Live, but apparently Apollo Crews says that they're going to take this above Edge and Shane McMahon, and we know that can only mean one thing, ladies and gentlemen. That means they have to go to the owner of the WWE, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. More on that later in the week, no doubt. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is your main event time, and Chris Jericho is coming out here to a chorus of boos for a very, very good reason. We saw only moments ago Chris Jericho took out Cesaro, who was scheduled to be in the main event here tonight. Of course, Edge has promised the winner of this match a massive reward in the future. An opportunity, as Edge put it. Chris Jericho mustn't have liked his odds, because Jack Swagger earlier in the night was added to this match. But Jericho taking out Cesaro, who I understand is stable in hospital as we speak, but has severe lacerations to his head and will not be able to compete until, at minimum, after SummerSlam, maybe even longer than that. So terrible news for those who are fans of Cesaro, which is me included. But we have to shift gears here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We do still have a main event, and I understand that the reward is still in offering as Jack Swagger makes his way down to the ring. And I've got to say, my opinion of Jack Swagger has changed slightly in the last few weeks, particularly after his incredible performance against Sami Zayn recently, getting a massive victory. And Swagger, well, he's been impressing everyone, including General Manager Edge, which is why he's been added to this match. And the reward could be that. Well, it could be anything. Who knows? Jack Swagger versus Chris Jericho about to get underway. This is your main event here in Salt Lake City. What a combustible night we've seen already, ladies and gentlemen. We've found out that Edge has issued a no-contact clause next week between Roman Reigns and The Rock to preserve his main event at SummerSlam. Look out here as you see Jack Swagger takes him over. This is what happens. If you try and out-wrestle Jack Swagger, you are going to get nowhere. If you try and take him on here, look at that drop kick from Jack Swagger, and already Chris Jericho is finding himself in a little bit of trouble here. The raw power of Swagger going to stand him in really good stead here for this match as he lays the boots in to Y2J, who, as we saw, I've already spoken about it, heinous attack on Cesaro, severe lacerations to the head. I haven't quite got a number on the stitches that he's had to have put in his head, but Chris Jericho is out here tonight, and I wonder what Edge will have in store for the winner of this match, if anything, for Chris Jericho. I mean, should this guy really be rewarded for the way he's made this a singles match? It may not matter if Jack Swagger can get the win here. It won't even matter as Jack Swagger is already playing to the crowd here. Still stunned from the transpirings of tonight. We just saw Team Bella stand tall and attempt at least to take out 2 out of 3 of the members of the triple threat main event we've got coming up on Monday Night Raw. And yeah, here Jack Swagger just slowly and methodically picking apart Chris Jericho. Now he might be looking for a bit of a camel clutch here, and that's what he's locked in here. And Jericho may find himself in a world of trouble here as Jericho does manage to escape. Trips up the big man Swagger. Jericho's trying to hammer away on him. See, the distinct size advantage goes to Swagger, but the speed definitely going to be on the size of Jericho. Back elbow takes the big man off his feet here as Swagger tries to get back to his feet, and he's knocked with that elbow, and then impressive power from Y2J. The veteran ain't going to be a pushover, you know that much. We've already seen that out the back. Of course, earlier on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to start the show, we saw Finn Balor make his SmackDown Live debut. His first match as champion, also defeating Dolph Ziggler, then was blindsided by Samoa Joe with that title. And I understand Samoa Joe took off, sped off in a car when Finn Balor was looking for him, but focusing in on the action at hand here as Chris Jericho off the top rope with a double axe handle. Impressive athleticism from Jericho as he takes control of this match on Jack Swagger. Your main event covered out. One. Oh my God. Look at this. Chris Jericho is some piece of work. Already taking out Cesaro in the back, and now he's holding up pins. Takes him down, right down onto the shin. And now he's methodically taking apart Jack Swagger. Jericho right to the heart of Swagger, who, as I've said, my opinion of Swagger has really changed. I haven't agreed with him in the past, but one thing I do agree with is he wants to make professional wrestling great again. He wants to be the all-American professional wrestler. And you can see Jericho, well, he was slightly distracted by something Summer Rae said And you can see her enjoying that, and that's always going to be the case. And Jack Swagger might be able to take advantage of the second rope with the Swagger Splash. The Swagger Splash delivered expertly, and now Jack Swagger may have turned the tide here with the assist from Summer Rae, but Jericho takes him down. Brilliantly done. Double leg takedown. Something you would expect Swagger to perhaps be a specialist in. Drags him to the middle of the ring here, and now Jericho hyperextending that elbow. These two going at it, and Jericho still trying to play to the crowd. We saw him in a pose-off with Cesaro last week, which was completely an utter disaster for Chris Jericho. Lost that very soundly as Jack Swagger now hooks him up very intently up, and a stalling, delayed suplex, letting the blood rush to the head and then smashing you down on the canvas. Nothing fun about that. And Swagger smashes down the underside of his leg across the throat of Chris Jericho, but Jericho yet again trying to find something. The wily veteran is finding a way out of many of these predicaments that Jack Swagger attempts to put him in. Jericho now looks around at this crowd, this very unadoring crowd of Chris Jericho, who despise the fact that they took out one of their favorite wrestlers from this match too. Has he got him? Oh God, a long 2 count there. And perhaps Jack Swagger's had a little bit more taken out of him than we think here. There's a straight right hand there from Chris Jericho. Jack Swagger now on the apron, and this could mean really bad things for Jack Swagger. And up and down with a suplex. We saw that earlier from Finn Balor. It proved very effective in turning the tide of the match against Dolph Ziggler. And now you can see Jericho looking to turn not only the tide, but turn Jack Swagger over for the walls of Jericho. And they are cinched in. They are cinched in tight here. But Swagger powers out. And now Summer Rae trying to distract the referee as Jack Swagger getting desperate now. Summer Rae, you know the desperation is starting to come out. Swagger, though, ducked it, looking to roll the dice, but Jericho another counter. Northern Light suplex, and you've got to be impressed with Jericho. He's a big-time wrestler. He loves the big stage. This is the bright lights, the main event. Look out, Jericho with a Swagger bomb. Jericho with a Swagger bomb into the cover. 1, 2, he's got him through. Oh my God, Jack Swagger just gets the shoulder up. And Jericho can't believe it. He almost put him away with his own move. And Jericho from the outside in. Shades of Guerrero, couple of times tonight. And Jericho very nearly putting Jack Swagger away with his own move, the Swagger bomb. And it's been all Jericho in this match, and you can see the panic from Summer Rae at ringside. Swagger's found himself in some enormous trouble. Cover now. 1, 2, and doesn't get him. And this crowd just starting to get behind Jack Swagger a little bit here. And I never thought I would say that about the All-American American. And look at Jericho telling the crowd to shut up, but they only get louder. And Jericho is just so distracted by the crowd here. And now here comes Swagger, and this place explodes. They are getting right behind Jack Swagger here. Could this be the coming of age party for Swagger as he stomps away on Jericho? Swagger now measuring, and this crowd comes alive because they know what's next. Unbelievable. Salt Lake City getting right behind, and again. And Jack Swagger is firing up, feeding off this crowd here in Salt Lake. Absolutely incredible atmosphere. Swagger now drags a lifeless Jericho to the middle of the ring. And a shot. A knee to Jericho, much like he delivered to Cesaro earlier in the night. And now Swagger picking his moment and picking a leg. Swagger with a tidal wave of offense. Swagger jumps in, takes out the leg of Jericho, and now the crowd in unison. We the people want to make wrestling great again, but Jericho rolled out of the way with a picture-perfect drop kick. But Swagger right back to his feet, looking for the Swagger bomb. No, Jericho moved. But look out, Swagger sends him into the corner. But Jericho trying anything he can to get away. And then a straight right hand from Swagger. Drops Jericho into the cover. Just a 1 count. What an exchange. This place on their feet. Incredible match here. Swagger looking to fire and look out. Codebreaker out of nowhere. Codebreaker out of nowhere from Chris Jericho. And that'll do it. Cover 1. No, kicks out at 1. Jericho in complete disbelief. And it seems as though Swagger's almost feeding off this crowd here. But Jericho not to be denied. And there's a knee to the temple. A knee to the temple. And Jericho's telling him to get up. Jericho wants him to get up. And then he just rolls on him. The full weight of Jericho. And look at this. Doing the shuffle. And Chris Jericho trying to play to Swagger here. But Swagger with a drop kick. Swagger with a drop kick and then a shot to the chest of Jericho. And a little bit of karma here for Y2J. Jack Swagger picks up Jericho. Now he's going to send him over. And Swagger now with a receipt for Jericho. From the outside in with a suplex. From the outside in with a suplex. And now Swagger's going to go high red. Swagger high red. Up and down. This place has come unglued. 1, 2. No. Can't put him away. This place is on its feet. Everyone wants Jack Swagger to get that massive reward from General Manager Edge. Swagger firing up. Tidal wave of offense. And Swagger again hammers him. This place comes alive again. Unbelievable. The coming of age party for Jack Swagger here in Salt Lake City. Picks up Jericho. Sends him into the corner. And Swagger turns him around. It's gonna be it. Salt Lake City on their feet. Swagger splash. Swagger splash. Come on. 1, 2. No, can't put him away. Jericho stays alive. What a match. What an atmosphere. What a main event. So much on the line. Oh, Swagger went to pick him up and missed. Jericho swings around. Neck breaker. But Swagger again. Swagger moved again. Oh, heavy right hand. Heavy right hand. And then took out the knee. Signature move of Swagger. And this place has come unglued. And they are staying unhinged. As Swagger hammers away. And now he lines up Jericho. Swagger lines up Jericho. Hooks him up. Swagger bomb. Swagger bomb. From Jack Swagger. Plants Jericho into the cover. 1, 2. No. Unbelievable. Jericho's still alive. Swagger just trying to stay on him here. Feeding off this Salt Lake City crowd. Is this the coming of age of Jack Swagger here? Massive. Massive for this kid. Against the wily veteran. Just trying to stay on Jericho. Trying to do anything he can to win this match. And Swagger, look out. Look out, Swagger missed it. Swagger missed it. But Jericho didn't miss that. Plants him with a reverse DDT. Plants him with a reverse DDT. And now Jericho may have found his opening here. Both men have thrown their best punch, you feel. But what's Jericho got left in the tank? Another knee to the temple. Another knee to the temple is what he's got. And Jericho now to the second rope. And Jericho with a senton. Full weight of Jericho knocks the air out of the lungs. And the Jericho sucks chants are ringing throughout Salt Lake City. But what might be ringing is the lower back of Jack Swagger. He may have to give it up. He's fighting with everything and he gets him out. He gets out of the walls of Jericho. Nowhere to go now, Chris. Swagger hooks him up. What the hell is this? Oh my God. Plants Jericho face first. Plants Jericho face first. The cover. Gotta have him 1, 2, and no! Jericho kicks out again. Jericho kicks out again, and Swagger just looking to stay on him here. Stay on him, Jack. Come on. Jack Swagger, with the full support of the crowd, is now going to go to the top rope again. Swagger's going to go to the top rope again. And Swagger, oh my God! Full weight of Jack Swagger down onto the chest cavity and then takes out the legs again. Swagger takes out the legs again and stomping away, stomping a mud hole in the arse of Chris Jericho. Drops the leg. Drops the leg. Swagger on fire here in Salt Lake, showing everyone what he can do here under the bright lights, the blindingly bright lights of SmackDown Live. Stalks Jericho. He's given him all he can handle, but can he handle one more? Swagger bomb. This place explodes into the cover. Swagger. Hook the leg. Fulfill your destiny. 1, 2, and yes! Jack Swagger picks up an enormous victory here tonight. What a performance! Jack Swagger comes up with all the answers and unlocks the code. Chris Jericho, humbled here tonight in Salt Lake City by Jack Swagger. Incredible performance. And this place are adoring of Jack Swagger. And then, wait a minute, look out from behind. It's that masked man. It's that masked man that we saw hijack the Intercontinental title. Oh my God. A straight DDT. Busts open Jack Swagger. And then he just disregards him over the top rope here. And look at this. And wait a minute, there's AJ. AJ Styles through the crowd. This is your chance. This is your chance, AJ. Come on. And now here's Del Rio through the crowd. It's almost as if they were waiting for him. Take that mask off. Take it off. And look out. Now he's fighting back here. He's fighting back, but AJ fighting back. And now he's like a pinball. AJ Styles off the ropes, missed the clothesline. AJ, look out, oh my God. Almost took that helmet straight off his head. Take the helmet off. Let's see who it is. But look out, God, he's got some fight. Whoever the hell that is has some fight here. Hammering away on Del Rio. And these three men are going absolutely toe-to-toe here. Del Rio recovering on the outside. Look out, AJ sent off. Oh my God. Who the hell is that under that mask? Who the hell is that under that mask? And there's a back elbow. And now hooks him up. Look out. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Pancakes him down. And now Del Rio looks to get in the ring here. Just swinging wildly here. And these three men going absolutely crazy here. This crowd, and this is completely broken down here. It's completely broken down here. AJ's even throwing hands at Del Rio. here. Oh, God, he sent him outside the ring. And then clotheslined it. Clotheslined Del Rio out of his boots. And somehow, some way, he's managed to discard both men here. And AJ is pointing at him saying, take that friggin' mask off. Who the hell is this? He's got a chair, whoever it is. And both AJ and Alberto are hesitant to get in the ring. He's got a muffled voice. I can't understand his voice, it's so deep. And he's saying Edge is going to have to give him what he wants. What the hell does he want? And he's saying that if AJ takes one more step, he's going to get that chair wrapped around his head. And it looks as though he's taken the show hostage, much like he took the Intercontinental title hostage. And he wants Edge to come out here and meet his demands. What the hell is this all about? Where is the Intercontinental title? Who the hell is this guy? And here comes Edge. Edge is saying, take the mask off and we'll talk. This is tense, ladies and gentlemen. And it seems like he's considering taking the mask off. If it seems as though Edge is just bound to the demands here. Edge is going to give him what he wants. What? Oh my God! Oh my God! My eyes have to be deceiving me! It's Bully Ray! I'm stunned! It was Bully Ray! But what the hell are his demands? We're out of time, ladies and gentlemen! We'll see you next week!